Hey, peeps. Welcome, everybody, to our Facebook Live podcast today on a Thursday at 1 o'clock. Well, at least on the West Coast it is. So glad you guys are here joining us. I am here with my BFF, Bosty, bestie, goodness gracious, Gabby Nistico. Yay! Gabby, I feel like we're going to be doing a live podcast here. So
it is, right? I know. Right? I love that.
We're going to be talking about podcasting. So that is the purpose of our live interview today, because Gabby and I are going to be doing this extra special class on Rockstar Podcasting. And as a matter of fact, I'm so excited because next Tuesday, I think it's next Tuesday, the 6th, we are going to be 1 year old. Our podcast will be 1 year old, and we have so much to celebrate. We honestly, it has been such a wonderful, amazing, fun journey for me. I hope it's been the same for you, Gabby.
I'm just happy to be out of diapers. That's
there you go.
Yeah, it's just all about just being out of the diapers.
Being out of the diapers. Well, we've learned a whole bunch in the past year, and we've had a great time along the way. And I think for me, this is definitely something of a passion for me to do the podcast. It's something that I've always wanted to do. And you think to yourself, oh, it can't be that hard. And I'm not going to say that it's hard, but I'm going to say that there are a lot of components to it. Right, Gabby?
Yeah. There's way more, I think, than either of us could have ever thought in a million years, and I know you were already so far ahead of the process when you got me involved, and you're like, hey, you want to do a podcast? I'm like, sure. No big deal, right? Couple minutes a week. Yeah, okay.
Sure. Yeah. I had started the process, and we're gonna have a party, by the way, next week, guys, for our 1 year anniversary. And we're inviting you all to that party as well. But I do want to talk about when I first started, before I even asked Gabby, it was probably a year in the thought process and development and thinking about what's a good domain name and what should we call it and what do I want to talk about? Because, that's always a question. And Gabby and I thought it would be a great idea to kind of recap our experience and teach all of you how you can benefit in having a podcast. I mean, I think it's truly benefited us in a lot of ways, Gabby, right?
It has. And I think a big thing about this, too, that we want to make clear is even though we're both obviously known for voiceover, and that's normally the kind of stuff we teach, this is about expanding beyond VO in that for voice actors, this is a chance to really show your expertise in other areas to attract new clients and new business. But also for people who aren't in voiceover, friends, family, anyone that you know that's ever expressed an interest in podcasting or could benefit from a podcast, this is the class for them. So this is kind of cool. It's a little bit of a new territory for us in that sense.
Yeah. And Gabby and I have been working on the curriculum, and it's super comprehensive. Yeah. There's a lot of components to what we do. And I think podcasting for us, I mean, gosh, I've gotten clients because people are like, oh yeah, I've heard you, I know you from the podcast. Mm-hmm. And that is like, I think that's a big thing. I know you from the podcast. And so therefore, they're not necessarily asking me to podcast for them. They're asking me to do voiceover work for them, or they're asking me to do, they're asking me advice because of things that we have said on the podcast. So it's an amazing opportunity for you guys to really get your brand out there. And like Gabby said, to be known for something other than voiceover, because voiceover is like that bonus thing that you do. And that's kind of like, oh yeah. And, of course you're talking to me now. It starts the conversation, I think, with potential clients.
It really does. It opens things up. It gives you a new avenue for marketing. It gives you a new avenue for SEO, for web presence. There's so many benefits here. And, gosh, we've kind of traveled in the last year, all of the ups, the downs, left and right of this creation process. And it's exciting. We want to now share that with you, kind of share some of course, our successes, but definitely where we've learned you can, save yourself some time, save yourself some headache. Yeah.
Yeah, we've already experienced it for you. So we want to make it easy for you. And we want to show, just how cool it can be. And especially in today's digital age where we have to cut through the chaos of just about everybody fighting for attention. And I want you guys, by the way, if you are joining us live now, feel free to ask us questions in the comments, because I can actually see you guys in the comments. And so I am displaying some of your comments as we go. So thank you so much for that, you guys. Hi, Joy. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Daniel. Trenton, I think Trenton's been with us from the beginning, and thank you so much for that. We appreciate all of your support. And any of you that listen to our podcast, thank you so much for your support. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking because
you're reading. Well, I think what we've seen a lot of lately too, and I mean, some people are starting to comment and saying things about it. Everyone has been thinking about this lately, because basically, if your brain isn't either in podcasting land or YouTube land, you're definitely missing out on something as an entrepreneur, because this is where everyone's gravitating, right? It's the new media. It's how do we help to show people our expertise, show just how much we know about what we do, and how do we start to really branch out and become that expert that's accessible. That is a big piece of this.
Yeah. And the cool thing about it is that it has such a wide reach. And so people don't have to be in any specific place to get to your content. I mean, they can be jogging and listen to your content. They can be, there's so many advantages, obviously, of podcasting. And it's really, we find that we reach an audience that is not just voiceover related. Anybody who's thinking about voiceover, who may be driving to and forth to work, we get those people as well. So it really, I think, helps to broaden your audience by a ton. And that's really important, because it's really about getting the word out there. Really about getting the word out there. So you guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section here. And I know, Robert, I'm sorry, the video paused for a moment. I was reading all your comments, and I was smelling like some sort of I don't want to say, maybe my house is, I hope it's not on fire, but I am smelling a little bit of, I'm not sure.
Something's burning. Good.
Yeah, something's burning. So in case I just run off.
You need to check on that. That's okay.
I might need to check on that, but the window is open and they're doing landscaping. So as we all know, and can you podcast while they're doing landscaping? Yes. Sometimes you can.
Here's another fun piece to all of this. It provided that Anne's house doesn't burn down in the interim, I will actually be live in Irvine in studio for this event. So for those of you who know us and follow us on the regular, right? So I'm in North Carolina on the East Coast, Anne's in Irvine in California, West Coast. And we try whenever possible to get together and actually, spend I don't know, what are they, like boss retreats at this point, our weeks together.
Yes, I love our boss retreats. And Gabby's going to be here live, yay, in person. So all of you guys, if if you're interested and you're local to the area, stop by and meet Gabby live. It's always an amazing thing. And we're going to be doing a couple of fun events as well while Gabby's here. We'll be doing like a dinner and probably a get together. So
we've played around a couple of ideas. We were joking yesterday, I'm all about the what is that? When two words start with the same letter. Geez, I'm drawing a blank.
The double entendre?
No. Analogy or whatever it is. But we were talking about beach bosses at the beach and beach
bosses at the beach. Yeah, that could be fun.
Or boss brunch. So we're
a boss brunch. I'm
all into that right now. That would be awesome.
All of you guys in the audience there, who's got a question about podcasting, or how many of you are interested in podcasting and didn't think it was accessible, or are looking to find out more information? Well, thank you, Joy. Joy's nervous. Joy, I actually don't smell the smoke anymore, so I'm very thankful. And it wasn't necessarily smoke, but it was something like a machine running, if you know what I mean. I was hoping it wasn't smoke, because I just curled my hair, and you know how that goes. So anyway, it's boss life. the curling iron. So Robert, I love that Robert said, well, I have no clue, but that's okay, because we're here to help you get a clue, because we've gone through it all, and we're super excited to be teaching this. And it's a super comprehensive course that is 4 hours long, and Gabby and I are still putting content to it. And it's, again, because Gabby's going to be here live, I invite you all to come here live if you are in the SoCal area. But if not, of course, you can join us via remote Zoom. So we are, hoping to have a huge, we've already got quite a few signups, and we're hoping to have a huge turnout to help you guys to really explore podcasting as an avenue to grow your business. Diana, thank you so much. Diana's posting the link there on how to get more information about the class. And it is going to be on June. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what day that is, but it's on Saturday.
It's the day before Father's Day. I think
it's
the 16th.
June 26th. June 20th. Oh, it's 16th.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. We don't even know what date our class is. Yes. So our date is not next Saturday, but it's the following. Yeah. The 16th. I'm like, all right, you guys show up on the 26th too.
That's fine. I'll be there too. I'll just stay.
Yeah. Gabby's staying a long time.
We'll just do weeks of classes. It'll be fun.
So let's talk a little bit about what it is we're going to be talking about during the class, Gabby.
So, oh man, this was an interesting one too, because just putting this together was so intense when we had to really break down the whole process of podcasting. So first and foremost, the logistics, right? How does it work? What do you need? What steps do you have to take? And this includes everything from the technical side of things, the actual recording process, to promoting, to selling, to budgeting. We've also got some really cool performance techniques laid out that are going to help people who maybe don't have a performance background. I mean, I know for the voice actors, you guys have a huge advantage, but if you don't have a voice acting background, then we've got some tips in there as well that are going to help people to navigate that. And so much of it, I think, is really just understanding from A to B to C and so on exactly what it takes. What steps do you need to walk to have a functioning podcast, and then ultimately to have a really awesome, successful podcast, because that's what it's all about.
And what's really interesting is that, of course, it applies because we're all voiceover artists, because we know audio, but it's also a little bit more about how podcast performance and how to become a personality, because that's a little bit different than reading off a script. I mean, our podcasts certainly aren't scripted. This is not scripted, as you can tell, because my house was practically on fire, and I stalled there for a minute. But allowing your audience and your listeners to feel like they're with you, and part of the experience is really one of the key techniques that we talk about. So I wanted you all to feel very included in my fire. And there you go. So thank you. Robert is giving me the date, Saturday, June 16th. Thank you for telling me my own date that I should know. As I mentioned before, Diana posted a link to the to the class. You've got time to sign up, but I would sign up sooner rather than later if you can, because sometimes our Zoom does get a little bit overflowing if we're going to be hosting remote, and my house can only fit so many people, especially people that want to come meet Gabby. So that's all good stuff. So I want to talk a little bit about next week, next Tuesday, if that's the 6th. Let me just check my calendar. Next Wednesday is our 1 year VO Bossiversary. And so because of that, we are going to have a Bossiversary celebration while Gabby is here, by having a Bossiversary Boss Talks, which is going to be during the day, at 5:30 p.m. on June 14th. So that is going to be Thursday when Gabby's here, the 14th at 5:30 p.m. That's Pacific time. And we are going to be having a celebratory Boss Talks, where you're all invited to come on into the Zoom celebration, and we'll have a good old time. As well as
some party favors.
Yeah, we're going to have some party favors.
People being able to stay at home, so come on.
That's right. Y'all have to have party favors.
There might be a cake too. We'll see. We'll see what we can make happen.
Ooh, a boss cake. I like that. So For those of you that are watching us live now, does anybody have a question? Joy, thanks for including us in your fire. Yeah, I know.
Well, we include everybody in everything. We're very much an open book. So
that's right. That's right. We want everybody to feel included. So thank you. Adrian says, I love podcasts and I love your show. Look, I'm even going to display that. Thank you so much. We love our listeners. That is for sure. And by the way, if you are a listener, you guys, we want to hear your questions. You can simply hop on over to the VO Boss page, and you can actually fill out our contact form. You can ask questions. Before, I used to actually have a little contact where you could leave us a voicemail message. But what was so interesting about that is that with all of our listeners being in the audio voiceover industry, not a lot of people were leaving messages, and I thought that was interesting. I wasn't sure if that was because you were afraid we were actually going to use that on the show, but feel free to ask us questions. What do you want to hear us? Like, what are your topics that you want us to talk about on the podcast? So, so Robert is asking, what is BOSS? So BOSS stands for Business Owner Strategies and Success. And it's Gabby. It's our podcast that we've had for just about a year, coming up next Wednesday, on the business owner strategies and success of having your own voiceover business. So we talk a lot about the stuff that not everybody is in love with, the business and marketing side of things. And that we release a new episode every Tuesday. So feel free to visit voboss.com, subscribe to our mailing list. We have a lot of cool stuff that happens if you do that. You get access to a lot of our content, and you can listen to all past episodes on the website or on any iTunes compatible device, Spotify, Google Play. We are Stitcher. We are on everything. And by the way, that's one of the topics that we talk about in our podcasting class, about how to get your name out there and how to market. This is one way. So inviting all of you to join us in a Facebook Live. Joy, good question. Is leaving a message still an option? Yes, you can leave us a text message. I actually was looking at how to make our webpage even faster so people could get to the downloads faster. And one of the problems with that front page is I had too many things happening. So I took off the ability to actually leave a voicemail message. If I get the website tweaked a little bit more, I may bring that feature back. But as I mentioned, people weren't necessarily using it, but we love to hear from you. So fill out that contact form, and you can also contact us at thebosses@voboss.com. You can send us a direct email.
The option of just recording your question and then sending it to us in an email or via
with an MP3. There you go. You can make it all pretty. Mm-hmm. So you won't have to worry about calling us on the phone. And one thing I'd love to just touch upon is that Gabby and I do our podcast via technology called IPDTL, which we love. We love. IPDTL is a sponsor. So we have good quality audio broadcasts, and we can actually have quite a few people on the line. So we're going to be touching upon some new technology that he's got coming out, where we can have actual callers on hold, ready if you want to call in live to our podcast, which would be kind of fun. No, Joy, we will not get sick of you if you ask too many questions. No. There's no such thing as too many questions. As my mailbox fills up right now. But no, Joy, please send us your questions. We love that. All right. So when is that date again? June 16th.
Yep.
And the link is off of the VO Peeps webpage, and you can see that right on the front page. Click on the link. Join us via live here in Irvine, California, or via remote Zoom. All of our sessions or all of our classes are recorded and available for your viewing pleasure later. So we cannot. Oh, thank you, Joy. I'm gonna show that one. Joy is just. I love it. Joy is just going on. She said, the quality of the podcast is incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joy. That really means a lot, that the quality is a step above other podcasts. I love that.
We do. We hear from a lot of folks, and part of that is okay. Yeah. So being voice actors, obviously we have great sound equipment and we have, superior tech at our disposal. But that's one of the things we're going to address in this class too, is why that's happening. And in a lot of cases, the audio for podcasting has become, I don't know, sort of an afterthought. I don't think that's right. Of course, I'm very biased there. I'm like, why? Doesn't have to be.
It's kind of what we do. You're right. It doesn't have to be. And we can have excellent sounding podcasts, just like Gabby and I are like in the same studio together, which is really cool. So that when we actually are in the same studio together, I'm wondering which quality will be better.
Oh, funny. Ooh,
so yeah. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope that you will join us for our Rockstar Podcasting class coming up on the 16th. And also join us next week for our, on the 14th for our Bossiversary celebration, which will be, again, and we're actually going to be giving you a Zoom link so that you guys can join us via video. So that'll be kind of fun. And you can stop in and say hi. And we can celebrate and get your party favor on.
Yeah.
So
look forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Gabby, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
I know that, Gabby, you're busy because we both met this morning and we're like, oh my God, we have so much to do, which is always a good thing.
It's always the way.
So, yeah. So with that, we are going to say thank you guys so much for joining us. And we hope to see you in Rockstar Podcasting coming up.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks.